Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, in the case of one of our players. But welcome to the Geomologist Presents. Today, we're going to hopefully conclude our one-shot of the game, the free league game, Coriolis. And Coriolis is sort of been touted as, here's the book, Arabian Nights in Space. And we started one of the games, a quick start, that is online. You could probably still find it, and it's called I don't remember the name of the actual adventure that it is, Dark Flower, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we started last time, and now we ended at a pretty cool cliffhanger. And but before we get into the recap of what happened last time, I will introduce the players. And first we have Colin Green.
Hello there. Yeah, I am playing a couple of characters, which is a departure from the norm for me. I normally only play one character at a time, but I am playing Zebo and Nima. Zebo, I believe, is a former. Is he a smuggler? I want to say a smuggler, and Nima is a hotshot kind of pilot guy.
Here's Zebo and Nima.
Yeah, Zebo is quite flamboyant with gold jewelry and tattooed arms, and Nima, judging by his portrait, is a typical kind of fighter pilot esque in appearance. But last session I played him as a little bit nervous, rightly or wrongly. I don't know about that, but he's currently right in the thick of things. In fact, he's actually seen quite a bit of action because he, in the last session, had to do some fairly nifty flying to get close to the ship, and now he's in a bit of another clutch moment. But
yeah,
perhaps I'll park that there for now.
Yeah, and then we have Amy.
Hello, and I'm playing Dr. Armida Wana, and I guess you could say she's leading the mission, sort of. And backing her up is Roya, and she used to be former military, so she's kind of the meat and potatoes. She's hanging out with Zebo right now, and I control those two. But you'll see Samio. He's hanging out with Dr. Wana right now, and it's great to play. Make sure you like, subscribe, share.
Yeah. So I decided, since I had two players, I decided to kind of let's play the whole crew, and they have like a main. So I would suggest that Colin's main is Zebo and Amy's main is Dr. Wana, and that main has a sidekick, so Nima and Roya. And then Samio is sort of like the NPC because he's kind of like he's the tech guy in a way. He's a tech guy and face guy if they need it. But yeah, so and then there are that make up the crew of the Narzalis here. And what happened last time is that the Narzalis is kind of doing boring trade type stuff, was diverted by their sponsor to check out this derelict space station. You know how that goes. Your the company wants you to check out the derelict, right? You've seen that trope many a time, for example, in the Alien franchise. So so they went to there. I'm giving the recap, and you guys can add anything I might have missed. So then Rosales goes there, examines it. Like Colin said, Nima did some fancy flying to get to the airlock, and then this derelict station was surrounded by this cloud of debris and stuff, and no one really knew what it was, but definitely a hazard and wanted to avoid it. That's why Nima kind of touched down. The crew, all except for Nima, went into the derelict space station, and then Nima set up Zeba set up a tether, and Nima pushed off just to not be attached to the station. And then they explored the station a bit and ran into some weird stuff, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we could see, like you can see on the drawing, there's a ruptured hull,
Right, over
quite
here.
some sort of catastrophic looking damage.
Mhm.
So we were
Up here too.
proceeding with caution because clearly we didn't know what we was going to find.
Right. And what they
Uh,
found is like vegetation everywhere. I think that was the
mm,
strange thing. And they ran into like a creature that was a hybrid of plant and human, maybe. But they've been good. They haven't been shooting things up. Dr. Wana has helped maintain calm among the crew, and let's
mm.
explore first. Maybe we can get a good payday out of this because the company is paying us well to even explore this derelict and see what we can find. I guess there was a previous expedition out here that was lost, and then on the backside of this survey ship, they actually saw the ship and is covered in this vegetation. And this vegetation turns out to be these little purple flowers and the vines that support them like everywhere. So that's kind of why they pulled away from the ship so they don't get quote unquote infected, right? So that ship, the other ship is totally covered, and even the hallway leading from this airlock to the other one is chock full of debris. So they did some exploration, ran into that plant thing, and then Nima saw something. He's seen a lot of things in his career, but he saw something, and this person kind of effectively what Nima has to suspect is that must have jumped from the derelict across space like a crazy person and latched themselves to the hull. And then what happened, Colin?
Yeah, well, Nima, I think was justifiably concerned at this because just that action alone suggested someone of fairly desperate, in a desperate state of mind.
Mm.
And we scrambled around trying to figure out what sort of defensive systems would be on the ship, and managed to decide, well, yeah, we had some kind of hull gun, and oh yeah, I fired a warning shot. In fairness, I think I did fire some kind of warning shot,
Yes.
and then they persisted to try and break into the airlock. At which point, I actually opened fire, hit the assailant, ruptured their suits, so they were like leaking out air. Whereupon they decided to um, give up with the hostile approach, and currently they're sort of isolated in the airlock, and with Nima cautiously kind of peering in. They've cast aside their weapon. Zebo and Roya were kind of scrambled. We made communications, and uh, they've been scrambled to come and. Well, the plan was, I guess, to try and wrench this person off the side of the hull. In the meantime, they got shot. But so we've got Zebo and Roya coming as a kind of relief force, but Nima was reluctant to just deal with this himself, because he's thinking, well, if that goes wrong, that's the ship lost. Everybody is then lost and stranded. So it's like the stakes are pretty high. You can't have someone coming and smashing up your ship and gaining entry to your ship when you're in such a sensitive situation. So yeah, things got quite tense for a little bit. And I did want to mention, we did pick up signs of life on our initial scan of the ship on our approach up in the biodome. So we did zero in on the area 03 at the top of the map there to
Right.
investigate signs of life.
Okay. Yeah. And then and what had happened at the end, and I mean, anything else to add, Amy, before I say what happened in the cliffhanger as well as what's going on at the ship?
No.
Yep. So what happened at the end is like the century-old speakers came to life, and a female voice was heard across the station. So even Zebo and Roya up here at the airlock would have heard it. So technically, I guess they're like here. They heard a female voice across the station, and this female voice told them the tale about the seeds of the icons and a holy project that she was running on the station, and told them not to interfere. Um, so nothing was more important than her work. And apparently this work stemmed from, so there, let me just shift over here very quickly. So they're in this system, the Dabaron station. I don't know if you can, the Dabaron station, which is a red giant. So the red hue of the sun is pervasive in the in the system, and the station does rotate. It has some gravity, and then it'll rotate around to that sun, and then it seems like they've noticed also the plants kind of grow towards uh, that light, that red light. So in any case, so the seed of the icons project was to find these, well, apparently related to these dark flowers, and they can grow anywhere. Apparently they're floating around the station in the vacuum of space. And then Dabaron is a desert planet, and the project that this Wahina had started was to cultivate these plants, and let them grow in the desert, or have them grow in the desert. And apparently it was successful, but then something went wrong, because now these dark flowers have overrun the station. So when we last left, and I think we'll start with Amy's group. Dr. Wana was heading towards the biodome, correct?
She was, but she stopped when Nima had called over and said that there was an intruder.
Right.
So we sent Roya, and Zebo went to go investigate, and Dr. Wana is just kind of hanging out in the hall in between what we believe was the research lab and the dome, and she's been talking to the plants.
Okay. Yeah, so you're in like what you believe is the med lab.
Mm-hmm. And we did find
Or the lab.
what
Let me
we
see. Is it the
believe.
med lab or the lab section? Let me see. It is
Well,
you're
I
in
think it's
you're in
supposed
the
to be.
laboratory section.
Yeah, we did find what I would refer to as two humanoids in vats.
Yeah.
As
They're
if
like in their life, and they're like in the life pods or whatever, but they've been their life pods have been into the plants have like infiltrated these life pods. So they're like, I don't know, you would guess? I think you guessed that they're becoming what, plant people?
plant people, but I think Dr. Wana sees it as the plants are trying to save these people.
Yeah, because they looked like they were already dead, right? They'd been
Yeah.
killed, and yep. So like I guess they're plant zombies,
Something like that.
even more exciting.
And
Okay.
didn't the law suggest something along those lines? These plants having a healing nature.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we pick up on that? I felt we picked up on that, and that's where we come up.
I think so, because we looked through the microscope, and some of the research that we could find on that old computer kind of inferred that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and actually Dr. Wana has taken some samples as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And the only like conflicts, other than what's happened at the ship, is that one of these plant people was cornered in the lab and had a confrontation with Roya, actually vomited or spit spores on Roya's face. But since you guys are all still in your suits, that kind of just got all over the faceplate and stuff. Right. So okay.
Yeah.
All right. So so I guess you don't, so you're gonna pause there, Amy, or
Right.
Dr. Wana, while the ship thing is resolved. Okay.
I mean, the only thing Dr. Wana would do is say, "How is it going, Nima? Zebo and Roya are on their way. What's your update so far?"
Well, the assailant has been neutralized. Managed to tag them with the ship's defenses. Currently, they're in the airlock. They seem to have put down their weapon, and I'm awaiting. I'm awaiting backup. I'll take no further action unless you want me to. I'm happy to wait for Zebo and Roya to arrive. I'll keep an eye on this intruder.
Yeah, I'd rather you just hold your action right now. Don't fire unless fired upon. But seems like you did a great job. You've got it under control. Great job, Nima.
Yep. Message received. Yep, roger that.
All right. So you didn't. I think Nima did look at the weaponry and armament that this person had, and they had like a thermal carbine and something called a mercurium sword. So they're pretty well armed, and they also had like a backpack that wasn't like a backpack to carry like their 50 feet of rope or whatever. It was looks like one of those satchel charges type situations. So this person again is also armored, as yep.
I just Nima, I'll go over the intercom or whatever, and just say to this intruder, just remain stationary. Do not attempt to pick up your weapon. You'll be taken into custody by my companion shortly. Your life is not in any immediate threat. We would just want to. You're going to need to answer our questions while you're attempting to gain entry to our craft.
Okay.
And just waits for Zebo. I feel like Zebo and Roy are the well, they're the gruesome twosome. I think they're the 1-2 combo that deals with all this sort of aggravation that we come across in our little outfit. Because Roya takes care of the range, and then Zebo's there to back it up close and personal.
Right. So they're at the airlock. So they're gonna move across the tether.
Oh yeah.
All right. So if they're going to do that,
Roya is very excited to get to the ship to clean her mask off, get the flower vomit off. She's not afraid. She's thinking, why do I not have a windshield wiper on my face shield?
I'm imagining her to be the type of person that doesn't like her stuff all messed up.
No,
I imagine she keeps all her gear in good order and everything in a sort of efficient working condition. And plant vomit doesn't have a place on her equipment list.
No, that can get her demoted. Inspection doesn't go well if you have scuffs. So yeah, I envision her like a cat. Now she's got to clean for 6 or 7 hours just to get rid of that one little spot.
Okay, so I guess you're gonna move across the tether. It seems like it doesn't seem like that's gonna. I mean, feel like you guys have done this before, so and you're not like attached. If this were like initially attaching the tether, then it would be like a roll to make. But I think you guys kind of get your little carabiner and put yourself clip on and pull your way across to the airlock. That's not an issue. And there's enough slack, but of course all this debris, all these flowers in space are floating around there, it's kind of cloud, so it's they kind of hit your suits as you go across occasionally, as they're swirling around the station, floating around the station in the microgravity. So you Zebo, I guess you take the lead and you're across.
Yeah, just punch in the code or whatever to access the door. Kind of steps in.
Okay, I want to see if
probably with he's probably got more of a permanent grin a lot of the time. I imagine Zebo being quite quite light-hearted about stuff.
Mhm.
Looks down at the assailant. Ah, looks like we have a visitor. Look what the cat dragged in. Better shut the door quickly. Our friend has got a hole in their suit, Roya.
On my way, sir.
And
So,
he just like puts out a hand to help grab Roya in, just pulls her in,
uh-huh.
keeping a half a eye on this. I mean, is it clearly obvious that this person on the ground, the assailant, is a woman, kind of thing? Does
Yeah,
she?
you could tell it's a woman
Yeah,
there, and she definitely is injured, right? She's injured here, so
Hmm.
and more stressed than she's definitely very agitated. I should see what her reaction is. She's just sitting down. Um, you can still see though she's thrown down her carbine, but she still has a pistol in the holster, and she's tossed her because she was trying to attack the airlock with that mercurium sword.
yeah.
Uh, so, so I don't know if you want to secure those or what you want to do. I
Well,
want to see.
Roya would definitely, as Zebo was talking to her, she would have grabbed all of that and the backpack, and she would tap Zebo on the shoulder and say, she's still got a pistol. Be careful.
Yeah, it is pretty crowded in that airlock right now. But you want Nima to cycle it closed or keep it open or
I
close it
think
as quickly as possible.
I would close it as quickly as possible because she was leaking oxygen.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Um,
Zebo's gonna just put his hand out, offer his hand to this woman to help her to her feet, because I think he's a, a confident enough guy that with Roy there and him, they can contain the situation. So he doesn't need to be out and out nasty. He's just gonna help her up. I think that's in his nature to.
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah, Roya would announce, she's like, "Don't mind me, I'm just removing your pistol. I mean, no harm."
Okay. Well, let's see. Before we get to that, let's see.
That totally seems like a
All right.
Royer thing to
All
do.
right. So this woman, even
You
though
see her doing that.
agitated, keeps her wits about her. I made it. I rolled a success, as you can see. A 6 is a success in this game. So she keeps her wits about her, and she keeps muttering something, but it's hard to hear through the mask. Um, and with the all the machinery, and you're closing the airlock and the hissing and all that kind of stuff. But you're able to. She lets you take her pistol. It's a Vulcan pistol, if you care. And then it's a thermal carbine and the satchel charge, and the sword that
Mhm.
you kick to the side. Um, but yeah, so the airlock cycled.
I was
Take
looking.
it to the whatever kind of medical first aid facility that we've got on board. I feel.
Okay,
Yeah.
you gonna like escort her with weapons, or just let her go ahead, or
No, I think maybe I just like my hand on the back of her arm kind of thing, just to kind of guide her along the way. As she's injured as well, I don't know how
um,
badly injured. If she actually needs a hand to like move or anything, Zeb will steady her or anything like that. When he helps her up, he'll judge whether she seems shaky or whether she's able to stand.
yeah,
And then it just kind of like just come with me. We'll get you fixed up and you can explain what's going on.
right. So I guess we'll Dr. Wana and
I'm
Samuel.
envisioning that while we're doing that, on the way, Roya would leave her mask where it needed to be and grab a secondary one so that it's cleaned off.
To leave it in the airlock.
Yes.
Dirty mask. Okay. Yeah, here's the airlock here. Oops. So it's kind of what the situation is. The med lab is right next to the airlock, which is convenient.
Hmm.
Okay.
I feel like Zebo and Royer. This is a sort of a fairly well rehearsed
Okay.
thing as well. Like they've worked together, so perhaps Zebo does a little bit more of the kind of hands on, whereas Zoya's perhaps scoping the area and keeping an eye on her,
Mhm.
ready to react, kind of being a. Well, she is a military type, isn't she?
Yeah, yeah.
I've got
Yes.
that right. Yeah.
I mean, I was looking to see if she had any like diplomacy type thing. She's got observation,
Yep.
but I don't see like medical or anything where she could help with that. But I'm assuming that, that they would just basically get her to sit down. Roya would probably hand her a glass of water. As best as she needs to, she would clean her up and let her know, why don't you lay down?
She's not gonna lay down. But she finally introduces herself. She just says matter of factly and kind of cold with as little emotion as possible, kind of trying to hold it together. It seems maybe likely that she's had an experience in vacuum before, and that kind of shocked her. Um, she says, Amira Tash. Uh, she
Oh well, Amira, I'm Zebo.
and she
This is
says,
Roya.
she
Hey.
goes, ex Shyam's Wrath Company.
Really?
Yeah.
What, were you in charge of the military?
So there probably should be like a roll for a recall. Is it wits? Is there like a society? It's like there's an equivalent of like society here.
Well, there's
Let's see.
culture.
Culture, yeah. So have
Culture.
culture, yeah. But I'll give a bonus dice to Roya because she's ex-military also. And does Zebo have a military background? I can't remember.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, but he can roll. He can roll too. Wits, culture.
So it automatic fail because she doesn't have anything in culture.
Oh, it's an advanced skill. Oh, so just roll wits.
Just roll wits.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But with a
Um,
bonus dice.
okay.
Because wits is to me is like intelligence. That's what it'd be. I guess. Oh, nice. Oh, critical. Dang. All right. So, all right. You know all about. So this is a. So. So you might actually we know who this woman is actually. So Shyam's Wrath Company is a she's ex legionnaire. So Shyam's Wrath was an elite force, kind of they're like special forces. And Tash, you're like Tash, Amira Tash, and you know that she left the Legion, or actually was quietly dismissed from the Legion because she killed a guardsman during a brawl on Coriolis.
Oof.
Well, Roya
So
herself is being
she's
hunted
known
by
as
the
tough.
Legion, so-
She's tough. Oh yeah. Oh really, Roya? So you could like empathize with her,
Yeah.
pretty well because you're also being. She's not being hunted because but she was dismissed. Right. So
Mm-hmm.
well, I don't know. Who knows? So now you've heard that she's become a mercenary.
Mm-hmm.
So when she says that, do you like Roya? Do you like so you've heard of Shyam's Wrath, uh Zebo, they're like I said, special forces, no nonsense. Do the jobs that require, you know, expertise.
Yeah, Zebo's glad that he was quite nice to her now, and
Mm-hmm.
he's sort of smiling to himself as she says this. He's kind of like, I'm glad I didn't go heavy-handed with this one.
Yeah. So she says, so Amira says, the ship is tougher than it looks.
Well,
And
Roya's gonna
and you
ask
can
her.
in her voice it probably is more, she looks at Nima when she says that. So kind of more kind of saying not just the ship, but maybe the crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nima just sort of nods in appreciation and kind of like glances around, a look of satisfaction at the acknowledgement, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Roya would ask her, what brings you out here, Amira, for for a specialized legionnaire like yourself? Why are you out here on a spaceship with plants all over in the air?
Oh, you know Shamira's Shyam's wrath.
Of course, I even know you. I've heard your story, just like I'm sure you've heard mine. Originally, when I saw you, I thought perhaps you were coming to hunt me, but if I remember correctly, you have also left the Legion.
Not by choice.
Do any of us leave by choice?
Guardsmen on Coriolis sometimes think they're better than those of us who do the work.
Absolutely. So what brings you out here?
I would like to say that guardsman deserved it.
I'm sure he did.
Do you tell him who? Do you tell her who you are?
Well, she would say, I'm Roya. I also have left the Legion. Maybe not for the exact same circumstance, but I have left.
She says, "Sorry, I, maybe you left after, or you joined after. I don't know who you are."
On a side note, it doesn't say why she's hunted by them.
Probably you just have to come up with a reason, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
But it's pretty. I imagine that's to give you just a hook to come up with a tale for yourself that catches your fancy, as it were.
Okay. Well, then Roya would say, I myself am hunted by the Legion because, similar to you, I had a commanding officer that felt he could do things he wasn't allowed to do. And we'll just say I gave him a once over for it and was kicked out for standing up for myself.
yeah. Sometimes people in power are corrupt.
Most of the time, except not Zebo. My friend Zebo
At
here.
this point, Zebo's mumbling under his breath. "Well, must have been a brave man, that commander, and foolish."
So is anyone gonna like try to do first aid on her? Or can
Well,
anyone?
Roya would, but I don't know what I would roll for that.
I think it's also like an advanced skill. I'll make it Samio.
I mean,
Zebo will grab a med kit and probably offer it to her now that he's realised how competent she is.
Yeah, does anyone have metacurgy?
no, Roya
Uh,
doesn't.
Metacurgy.
Samio doesn't.
I mean,
It's an
Dr. Wana
advanced skill.
does, but
Yeah.
that doesn't help her any.
Let me see if a med kit like allows.
No, I don't. Nima. I wonder about Nima being a pilot.
How's there no backup? Healing.
No.
So med kit gives a +2.
I mean, I have force, but that doesn't help.
It's on
Observation.
wits.
Yeah, so
It's
someone
on
give me a
wits.
wits with a +2. You can grab a med kit and
Yeah, because Nima's quite smart. Probably
yeah.
would be the person to figure this out.
Okay.
Oh, whoa, hold on. Zebo is
Really.
super smart. Oh, he's
Yeah.
the tech guy, isn't he?
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
only
he
have a
is.
3.
He did all the scanning and that. So, okay, Zebo is quite handy then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I say the med lab definitely has a med kit for first aid, so you can, you
Yep.
know, do that. So did you have the +2 dice?
Yeah. Zebo busts out the med kit.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
been a while since he had to do it.
Yeah, it's been, but
Yeah.
it helps. So it heals her. We'll give her a 1.
Well, Roya, while Zebo was doing that, would have brought her over some water and
Yeah,
you
well, I
know.
mean, you had to take off like at least the top part of her armor and stuff. So she's unarmored, and you kind of treat that wound. Um, it looks like so those probably like those. It looks like fragments from. I'm sure like that anti-boarding stuff is like explosive. It detonates and it's like flak.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
So
yeah,
she has
fragmentation
like
kind of.
fragments in her like shoulder and stuff.
You imagine little
Armor would need to
spinning
be,
slivers that come and cut up suits, and
yeah,
it's going to be designed to do that job, isn't it?
yeah, her armor is it needs some repair as well. It blasted, shredded the shoulder area, back of her armor. But that saved her probably.
Yeah. Well, Roya would tell her, we're finishing our job over there, and you should rest here.
She just
Obviously, we're not going to give you your guns and the backpack of explosives back, but when we return, we'll help you fix your armor up. But
she goes,
why are you out here?
she looks at you, she goes, you need to destroy that ship or that station.
Well, we have people over there right now that are looking at it. Why destroy it?
You need to get him out of there. She's starting to you can see like Zebo as you're treating her, you can see her start to shake.
Do we Zebo will turn to her and say, were you in the biodome earlier? Maybe earlier today, a few hours ago, say. Were you in the biodome? We picked up signs of life.
She's like, no, I'm just because I got this bombs, but I don't know what to put it on. She goes, maybe you. She looks at Zebo and Nima. Maybe you know how to blow up that station. You have to do it. You have to.
Why? Why do we have to do it?
That growth, it's hostile. It killed all of us. It killed my crew.
Were you hostile to it? Because it has not been hostile to us at all. It's actually been very pleasant to us.
So she tells her story. She kind of cuts it. Get like a flashback in the show. You get like a flashback. She describes it. So she says I was part of the courier ship Shamsa. I can't even get to it now. We had a crew of 5. We were released by Professor Dahil Jabba. We arrived. We docked safely, no problems. We boarded the station, encountered this growth. We were peaceable. That thing will change. That thing will change. It will. We explored the station. We uncovered the secrets. Some diabolical plan, some anathema. You have to eke out a living in the living that you're given, she says. Flowers in the desert? She goes, look, I encountered one of these things, this mindless plant creature. And, well, it attacked one of my crew. So I killed it.
You killed it?
Well, yes, I shot it up, cut it to pieces. I did what had to be done. It attacked one of my crew.
When you say attacked, what do you mean by attacked? Did it vomit a liquid across your crew?
It grabbed him. She does look like unsure.
But I could have been accused of the same in the airlock. I grabbed you to pick you up off the ground.
I don't want to die in a vacuum. Maybe I can't. Maybe I could take you all. You have to destroy the ship. Look, one by one, those things, they came out. The vines, they grabbed my crew. Those plant creatures, they killed my crew. And then it took the ship. I mean, I know the professor might still be alive somewhere in there, but I hid in different parts of the station. I'm glad you got our distress signal.
Well, we were sent to find out what happened and find out we have. It's probably a good idea for you to rest now because you've
I feel
obviously.
I feel like if you take my charges and put them in the ship's engineering, the power plant. It'll blow the thing up.
And
And
I'm
then
sure
it
it will.
might.
Okay. We'll take your charges. Just rest now.
Yes. Is
Y-
there like a brig or a jail or anything on our ship?
Let me see.
Somewhere secure so that if we leave Nima, we know Nima would be safe and
You can escort her to one of the cabins and lock her in.
Yeah,
okay.
we'll do that. I feel. Explain the situation, then. I think.
It sounds
Zibo looks across to Roya. Roya, and he kind of like raises his eyebrows, and they've kind of got some familiar signal,
Mhm.
as if to say, right, yeah, we need to kind of put this person in the cooler. They clearly need to calm down, and he kind of does the raised eyebrows, and can see that Roya's already considering what quarters to take her to.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
So she says, Amira says, so you're gonna destroy it, destroy the station.
we will do what is necessary, but I think what's necessary for you is to lie down and be at peace. You've seen quite a bit. We will take it from here.
You need my help.
And we will come and
Give me
gather
another.
your
Give me
help
another
when
suit.
needed.
I'll go with you. We could kill these things.
We
They
don't
killed
have
my
another
crew.
suit. And be at peace, Amir. You have completed your mission. It's time for you to rest. We'll take it from here.
Are her weapons still in this room?
No.
So Nima took them out or something.
Well, Roya would have locked him up, yeah. Or handed him to Nima and Nima would have locked him up.
Okay. Yeah, this is like storage.
But
The
we would have
cargo
done
hold.
it not when Amira was looking. So she doesn't
Oh yeah,
know.
well I mean, you had to take off her armor. Ziba was treating her.
Yeah.
Um, she doesn't seem to have her wits about her. So that's fine. Okay.
She seems a little bit traumatized by the whole affair, and
Yeah, she's a little off.
yeah.
Unaligned, I guess.
Yeah.
Unbalanced. There you go. That's a proper unbalanced.
Roya
I
would
don't know.
put
Zebo's got a drug stash.
Oh,
I
that's a
don't
good idea.
know. Yeah, I don't know what these drugs are. They like whether they're uppers or downers or what.
That's
But
probably
here,
like the equivalent of hashish or marijuana or
well,
something.
that's what I was imagining. So here, perhaps kind of when the moment seems right, offer a smoke to her
Well, give
or
me an
whatever.
empathy check, but if you have like some sort of personal skill, let me see what it would be. Would be command manipulation, actually. Yeah, give me a manipulation check. And then we'll see.
Is there a way Roya could help?
Oh, you don't have, I thought you had more than that. I thought you were pretty empathetic.
Um, oh no, I've rolled on the wrong character. That was Nima. I've got two tabs open and they're on top of
Yeah,
each
yeah,
other.
yeah.
Oh no, it appears to be the same. Is that right?
Is that right? Zebo? Let me look at Zebo.
They're
He's
both
got a
on three.
3 empathy, and oh yeah, it's the same.
It's the same. Let the roll stand, Carl. He just
Would you
clearly
like
maybe timed it badly.
would you like to call to the icons?
Um, I don't think so under the circumstances. I think he just assumes that she's not into that, doesn't like the idea of it, and I mean she's out of sorts, and he just kind of like shrugs it off. Oh well, maybe another time, perhaps when you've had a chance to, perhaps on an empty stomach, maybe not a good idea. He just sort of shrugs it off and doesn't take it
Okay.
personally.
Well, fortunately, she doesn't like take it as an insult.
No, okay.
Yeah.
I rolled a 6 there, so she doesn't like because you could tell she's like on edge. But when you're calm enough, and maybe she'll cuss. No, never, I never got into that.
Don't touch the stuff.
Yeah, she goes, I don't touch the stuff. Um, so she does tell you though, as you put her in the room, she goes, if you
Roya
don't,
would have put some water and some food in the room with her too.
yeah. So she says, if you don't do what's right, I'm gonna take the ship and do it myself. I'm just telling you now.
We will definitely do what is right and what we're ordered to do. But for right now, I think you need to rest and eat something, get your strength back, because
See, because
obviously,
legionary, you need to do your duty.
so do you. And you need to follow orders.
But you need to follow orders. Because you know she was a captain, right? So she was an officer, but
Mm-hmm.
that you need to follow orders. We need to destroy this abomination that's happening over there. Take my charges. Your tech man can probably know how to blow the station up.
Captain, we have
It's
this
the only
under
way. It's the only
control.
way. It's the only way to be sure. I had to have an alien quote in there. Aliens quote.
Yeah. So Roya will tell her, there's food and water for you. Eat and drink and rest. We have this under control. And Roya will close the door and lock it. And is there a way to do like a double lock on it?
You can make it so that she's gonna have to like physically try to bust through.
Yeah. So she'll do that and she'll
Well,
put an
Nima
alarm
can
on the
lock.
door.
Yeah, Nima
Huh?
can lock it, and you can put an alarm through
Mhm.
the ship systems.
And she's just gonna shake her head at Zebo. Like, what is up with this woman?
Yeah, she seems very, very on edge. On edge. I don't know why she never accepted my offer. She'd have been a lot better off. She needs to chill out. She needs to chill right out.
Yeah.
And what do you think about these? What do you think about this plant? I think her judgment is off. I think
I-
she's a little bit too hasty with giving out the orders.
Absolutely. I think that although they felt as though they were not hostile to the plants, obviously Dr. Wana has shown us that if we're nice to them, and we looked at that history, didn't that research that we looked at say that it's a plant matter that wants to help?
Yep, definitely it did. It did. Well, we'll check in with Nima and make sure Nima's happy, but I think we need to get back to Dr. Warner and
So you're gonna leave Nima alone with the special forces, ex-special forces person on the ship.
well,
Well,
I think Nima and Zeb will have a little moment. You can kind of like, if the camera panned out, you'd see them kind of chatting together, and Zeb's just patting Nima on the shoulder and reassuring him, saying, you'll be all right, you'll be all right. Apparently, they treat each other like, oh no, I think it might be Samio.
Oh, we could change
Yeah,
it.
he
It's fine.
just treats him like a brother. I think he regards Nima as still as a bit of a ex hotshot pilot who
Yeah.
still thinks he's a bit of a hotshot pilot. So he'll probably be more like sparring with him a little bit. Oh, Nima, you're the big hotshot pilot. I'm sure you can handle this situation. She's locked up in the court. She's not going to hurt you. And anyway, we're only the other end of the radio should you need help, and we'll come running to bail you out again.
Roy, did you put anything in the food or water?
like a sleeping pill type idea. She would have put
Oh,
it in
okay.
the water and the food just in case.
Okay. Oh, Roy, you don't have metacurgy, do you?
No, but she's got manipulation.
We can do your wits then. Is it? But yeah, metacurgy is based on roll wits
With
to see if you put enough. Oh, nice. Okay, so now I'll have to roll her. But she's kind of tough. Okay, but you said food and water, huh?
yeah, both.
Okay. Yeah, you're in the med lab, so I'm wondering, would you? There's plenty of stuff like that in the med lab,
Hmm.
right? Okay.
I mean, if there was a way to put it like in the airlock in the room, she would have done something like that, but that I don't think she would have. But since she prepared the food and water and put it in there, I'm sure she had time.
Yeah, I guess it would be strength, right?
And she would have made sure that she grabbed a glass of water and was sipping some in front of her so that she wouldn't be concerned about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
What
gonna
is it?
be that's gonna be strength, isn't it?
Gotta be strength, yeah. I can't think of any, but there's no, just a strength check.
She would have winked at Zebo as she was walking away.
Ooh. Ah. It was the food. She was hungry.
Mm.
Yeah. So soon she is out. You got her.
There we
Good,
go.
good job.
Roya will tell Zebo and Nima we need to progress quickly because that won't last long.
And then
Indeed, yes.
and
Yeah, yeah. Let's
she's
get
gonna be
back to
pissed probably when she wakes up.
But she'll
which
be
is
happy.
denial knowledge of it.
But wait,
Denial knowledge of it.
She might wake up and drink the water. Go back to sleep.
Oh, I'm mighty thirsty.
all right, cool. I mean, you guys are gonna go back to the ship,
Yeah.
right? So
Back to the they call the captain something else in this, don't they?
Dr.
Akbar or
Wana.
something. Yeah.
Oh,
Is it
Dr. Wana.
Akbar? Dr. Wana's the Akbar of the ship or something. Is that right?
Kind of like the commander of
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Well, it
vessel.
says just captain, but I mean, you might call her something. But
Yeah, I thought just I thought I read it on I thought I'd read it somewhere. That was all.
oh, okay.
But yeah, I suppose we should find out what they've been up to.
Right, we should. All right, Dr. Wana. All right, so Zebo and Roy are gonna go back across. Zima is with the prison, or watching the prisoner, although the prisoner is fast asleep after chomping down on some hummus laced with sleeping stuff. And yeah.
Not enough to hurt her, just enough.
Well, yeah,
to...
I mean, you made your medical, so yeah. All right.
I mean, Dr. Wana would radio over to Zebo and say, everything under control?
Oh, yes, Captain. Everything's under control. We've got our assailant safely locked away, and she's sleeping like a baby, thanks to Roya.
Good job, guys. Do you need to leave Roya there to assist Nima, or you think he's okay?
He glances over to Nima with big beaming grin. No, Nima's got his big boy pants on today. He's taking care of it, the old hotshot himself.
There you go. I knew I could trust him. All right, then we're going to progress up to the dome. You guys take it easy. Remember, be very careful where you step.
Oh, yeah. Don't want to upset the plant.
All right, so when you guys go back, you haven't checked out the living quarters or this area either. The med lab. You've only gone through here. So med lab and sleeping quarters you haven't checked out. So I don't know if you want to walk through there or check those places out.
Well, while they were doing that, Dr. Wana would have probably gone over to the med lab.
Med lab. Okay, we'll jump to them in med lab.
Then she would let the plant know, just waiting on our friends to get back. We'll be up in the dome in a bit, With your permission, I'm going to check out the med lab. Do you need anything?
She goes, I don't know who you are, but you seem more reasonable than the last group.
Well,
we had to defend. We had apologies. We had to defend ourselves. I know there are 2 of them still around.
Well, I believe one is now safely secured on our ship. So I will definitely look for the other one.
She goes, these plants, they are our salvation. You have to help me.
And I will. I just want to make sure that we check everything and remove anybody on this ship that's a threat to you first. So that way we can work together to find a solution.
You are helping?
I'm attempting to help. I'm a scientist. I want to help. I'm a doctor.
All right. So you get to the med lab. It's a large circular room with 2 raised platforms and a bunch of medical machinery. At the far end of the room, you make out a number of stasis beds. Some are destroyed, some are intact. There's rubble propped up against one of the doors, like someone tried to keep something out. It's a disaster. It's 8 yards high. It's at oldest point. The walls are lined with old medical machinery. Some of it looks like stuff that you've read about, but don't see anymore. And it is powered down. Like I said, there are 8 beds.
Is there a way we need to go
3 are
down to?
destroyed.
Okay, so it's not a way to
All
repair
right,
it.
so give me a you guys can give me a observation check. I'll roll for Samio. Oh, nice. Okay. All right. You think you see movement in one of the beds.
Okay. She'll turn her flashlight on her suit and walk cautiously over, saying, "This is Dr. Warner. Can I help? Do you need assistance?"
And then someone comes up, uh, like from behind one of the stasis beds, and he puts his hands up. This guy. Oops. This guy here. Do I have a picture? Yes, I do. Oh, I should have shown you a picture. This is a mirror. Looking all scary. And this is this guy. He does not look scary.
No, he looks like a nerd.
Yep. So he goes, Siab, Dahil Jabba.
I am Dr. Wana. Are you injured?
He's like, are you here to rescue me? You're here to rescue me.
Yes.
Thank the icons. Thank the icons. We need to get out of here. This place, it is evil. These things kill people.
Well, once the Zebo and Roya get back over here, I'll have them escort you, one of them, to our ship where you may be quartered and get some rest. You'll be safe. Maybe some food and water.
Yes, yes. Oh, yes. Okay.
Do you have
Because
any weapons on you?
because we were just exploring. I mean, one of the Amira killed one of those plant creatures. I call them avatars of the growth here, and then they killed everyone. I hid in here. I hid in here, hoping and praying for rescue. This
Well,
place is
Amira is,
fascinating, but it is deadly.
who is Amira?
She describes Amira, and that sounds like the legionnaire that you guys captured.
That sounds to me like the one that's sleeping on our ship. She'll radio to Zebo and say, hey, I've got one here. And Simo, is that how we pronounce his name? Simo?
Zebo.
No,
Oh,
no, no.
Samio.
Can he walk him over to the airlock and wait for Roya and Zebo?
Yeah, Samio.
Yes.
Okay, sure. Let's see if he gets into trouble.
I don't know. Seems like a good point to take a quick break.
Yep. Yeah. So Samio goes, okay.
Just stand here with him and wait while I take a look at things. And Dr. Wana will look to see if there's any plant life in the med lab that she sees.
Not really. There's more stuff and samples to take in the other lab, in the science lab. This is just yeah, decayed machinery. I guess if you got the power up, it could be useful. but I mean, you have just as good a lab for your purposes on the ship. So,
Right. Well, no, she was just looking to see if there was a piece of the plant that she could talk to.
mhm.
So she'll have Sayab, I guess, stay
Samio.
with, stay with Samuel,
Oh,
and
Siab, stay with Samio. Okay.
yeah, and she will look quickly over here in their sleeping quarters.
She's gonna go by herself. Okay.
Well, I mean, he's just right outside the door.
Well, it is kind of far, I mean, you have to work your way through, and yeah, you see the growth seems to like follow you. You catch as you go through there. Like you look down and there's like spores all over your suit and stuff, like dust all over your suit. And you kind of move through here and you can feel like the branches are ever changing, and doors are covered, and the like. So you kind of pick your way, towards that area, the former living quarters.
Can
And
she turn to one piece of the plant and say, "Should I not be going over here? Is it not permissible with you?"
there's no response. And I think
Hmm.
here, I'm a little over time, but I think here we'll take like a little 5-minute break and jump right back.
Sounds good.
All right. So yeah, so Zebo and Roya, by this time you already transported across and are at near the airlock, probably already cycled through, no problem. And I guess I have a couple questions. Roya or Zebo, did you bring the satchel charges?
Roya did not. She doesn't see any need to escalate something. She's seen no violence.
And Zebo just said that he would just to placate the Legionnaire, but he had no intention of wandering around with an explosive device.
All right. Well, Zebo, give me I guess it would be empathy. I know it's not great, but it might reveal something. Attempt an empathy for me. I guess Roya could do so too.
Did that roll?
I don't see anything yet.
Empathy.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe I didn't. Perhaps didn't click it properly.
Yeah, it's got
Oh,
some.
oh, here it is.
All right. Are there? It rolled twice. That's fine.
Did it?
So you failed the first time? Are you spending a dark? Are
I
you
guess
calling
I
to the?
did.
Are
I
you calling
guess
to
I
the
did.
icon?
Yeah, we'll let that roll with that. I'll spend that. I'll invoke the icons.
All right. So both of you are like, You feel like Amira was a little cagey when she was describing, like her satchel charges and all that kind of stuff, or when she was telling you about destroying things. So you get the impression that she's probably has some explosives elsewhere on the ship.
Mm.
So Zebo, Roya, Roya's probably thinking of it as in terms of this Marines or this lead. I'm gonna call them Marines, but this Legionnaire is gonna be thorough, and Zebo was like she was kind of cagey and really was asking about those satchel charges a lot if we were gonna take them, but and she talked about engineering.
Yeah,
What she got? Yeah, what's going on there?
she, she, she's not going to leave this to chance. I bet she's got something down in the core, in the engine, the energy core thing, the propulsion system,
I agree.
the reactor core. That's what's going to blow this up. Not this satchel charge is
No,
mm,
I didn't even bring those. And
nah.
Roy is gonna say, Zebo, with your permission, I'm gonna have some way take Sayab, I guess, back over to the ship and tell him to stay there, get him quartered. He'll know what that means.
Well, I think with Saya, the problem is he doesn't have like a suit
Um, is there one on the ship?
on this ship.
Yeah.
In the
Uh,
living quarters, perhaps we could have a look about, or maybe down in engineering, they might have something for maintenance purposes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, we'll switch to Dr. Wana because she was going to explore the living quarters, and then I think
Ah,
maybe
yeah.
Zebo and Roy. I don't know. you could probably go to MedLab, collect Siab and Samio and leave them by the airlock at least.
Yes.
Or I mean, or you could say, Samio, take off your suit and give it to this doctor, and then anyway, no, but then he'd be exposed to the
Yeah,
growth.
no,
But
we
it's up
wouldn't
to you.
do that. No, we
Anyway,
would tell him to stay there by the airlock. I mean, he's safe enough.
Whilst we try and find a suit, we'll put it out on the radio. You know, keep an eye out. We're looking for a suit. If anybody sees one, radio it in.
Hmm. Definitely. And Dr. Wana would hear that and then ask the plant, although the plant's not been answering her as far,
no, not really.
and she would probably, hoping the plant could hear her, say, is this where the tragedy happened? I am so sorry that they attacked you when it seems as though you were more interested in life.
Mhm. Yeah, so we'll jump to Dr. Wana while you guys are chatting and figuring out what to do. But so what was once quite sumptuous living quarters for the crew of the station is just a sad shadow. There's an alley several yards wide, maybe 5 yards tall, stretches ahead. It was once the centerpiece of the living module, now a rotted monument to the people that lived here. There's broken windows, a ceiling painted in the reddish color of the Dabaron sky. It looks like all is engulfed by the growth. It looks like maybe this section was, I don't know if Dr. Wano was guessing and was recalling recalling the Wahina creature's story, or Wahina's story. We don't know if she's a creature. Wahina's story that, the station was hit or attacked during some conflict. I mean, it seems like the damage was here, but it looks like the growth is keeping the vacuum at bay, which is interesting. The living quarters uh, seem to have been mostly affected by the catastrophe that doomed the station. There's still signs of the crew scattered across the area, clothing, old jewelry, personal mementos. There's a table set with what once was a meal for a family, unmade bed, um, a room that served as a studio for crew members with artistic talent, filled with dusty paintings of a green and flourishing Dabaron. So it looks like everyone believed in this mission to bring, flowers to the desert. Um, but everywhere is this dark growth. The crooked vines are clinging onto walls, growing in unnatural forms, reaching into every corner of what was once the domain of humans. So I need a couple things, Dr. Wana. I need a spot, yeah, a hard observation check. So -2 dice.
-2, which is going
Yeah.
to put her at 0.
Oh, really? So she'll roll at least 1 dice, but can't go below 0. Her observation is that bad?
Her observation is a 2,
Oh, but then
but you said -2, so I rolled it -2.
oh yeah. So you usually have 6 dice that gave you 4 dice. So you have 4 dice actually, because you have your observation of 2 plus your wits.
Yeah,
So
but I rolled a 4, a 2, and a 0.
yeah. So would you like to use to call to the icons?
Yes.
Okay.
But
You're gonna
it's
have
still at -2.
yes.
I have a feeling she's still going to fail, but we'll try. Am I doing this correct? I'm putting -2 in the additional modifiers.
That's correct.
Okay.
Oh,
Yay.
all right. So from one of the second story windows, you see one of those creatures observing you.
She's going to wave at it and say hello.
It sort of watches you, and now that you know where it is, you can see it kind of tracking you. Roll a d6.
Just a D6.
Yeah. 6. Yeah, so something that looks interesting, you find a board game in a plastic box, holds beautiful playing pieces, soldiers, demon-like creatures, and starships. The soldiers are in heavy armor. It looks like, so I don't know. It's in really good
40K.
shape. It's a board. Yeah, it's a more like a tabletop miniatures game, but
Well, Dr. Wana's gonna ask the plant, do you mind if I take this with? I highly doubt you're gonna play the game.
Doesn't seem to mind.
Okay, she'll grab it. Does she see a spacesuit anywhere?
You do not
Or
see
even
you do
like
not
an
see a spacesuit.
oxygen mask?
You do not see a spacesuit. Let's see what this creature's stats are. Okay.
Well, she would come out of the living quarters and she would thank the plant for holding the ship together like that. It's extremely impressive, and she's just enamored with how beautifully well they've kept the ship.
All right. So you see the creature, since you know the creature tries to hide, but since you kind of know it to look for, it seems to follow you out of the living quarters as you grab your board game with golden demon level painted miniatures.
Well,
So
she wants to look over her shoulder and say, "Was this yours? Was this yours?"
it doesn't answer, or it's still pretending to hide. All right. So you really didn't find anything of interest except, this is just documenting and filming, like this is what these people, how these people live and all that kind of stuff. All right. Roy and Zebo, what are you guys gonna do?
Yeah, Zebo jumps on the radio. Captain, any joy with the suit? Have you found a suit at all?
No suit, but an incredibly fun miniatures game that we can play on the ship. I asked permission to take it with.
He like grins at Roy and he's like putting thumbs up and they're like nodding. Bust that out later on. Should we head down to engineering, Captain, do you think?
I do think we should. I'm going to leave the game over here with Samoya, and I will meet you down there shortly.
Samoya, make sure you read them rules, yeah? We want to get started early as soon as we get off here.
Well, Dr. Wano would say it is beautifully painted. Wait till you see this. It's incredible.
Damn. Yep. I look forward
Samoya.
to that. That's a good find, Captain. Good find.
Hopefully we don't have to turn this in.
Samoya looks like us. Oh wow, this game is like hundreds of years old. Vintage. We could get a lot of beer for this, Captain.
Oh, but what's the
I made his
fun in
culture.
that?
I made his cultural. A lot of ones there, but I made his cultural.
Dr. Warner will get on the radio and say, "What fun is a toy that's never played with?"
Exactly. We're not selling that. We'll not be
ruin the
selling that.
value. You'll ruin the value. Anyway, so who's going down to engineering? Roya, Zebo, and Dr. Wana?
Yes, she's
Okay.
and then Samoya is gonna study the rules.
All right. So the station kind of rotates around its axis, and I spent 2 darkness points just to let you guys know. And all the red light surges, and you can see actually, Dr. Wana, your trailer here, you can see the growth kind of reach towards that red light as you pass through portals and what do they call it? Yeah, I guess it's called portals. Like on a ship where the things that
or viewing ports or whatever, I don't know. Yeah, but they are
well,
they're portholes, aren't they?
Viewport. Yeah, you pass the viewports and the red light spills in. You can see the growth and the flowers reaching towards it. And then Dr. Wanda, you feel like that creature has grown an inch or two as it is exposed to the red light, like maybe bulkier, stronger, more spikes on it.
Well, she would mention it to him and she'd be like, "Wow, you're growing big and strong."
Okay.
That's pretty impressive.
Give me an empathy check, Dr. Wanda.
Empathy?
Yeah. Oh, manipulation. Manipulations. Sorry. I should have said that. Yep.
She's not trying to manipulate.
No, I know, but it's a manipulation is also like your charm. Okay.
No.
Would you like to
Um,
call to the
yes,
icons?
yes, we'll call to the icons. It's probably not going to be good for us, but that's okay. Yeah, not good for us.
Oh, all those fives. Yep. Okay. It doesn't seem to react or anything, but you have like, yeah, you have this thing has talked to you, and you can like occasionally, like also as you guys move through here, you can occasionally you feel like if there is like if these um if the communication system on board this ship is two-way, then possibly Wahina is listening to you because you occasionally hear the crackling of a speaker nearby, you know.
Mhm.
So, but this creature kind of follows you, looks bigger in the reddish light as you are facing, the red giant sun here in Dabaran system. So you
Well,
make it to engineering.
well, Dr. Wana, before she goes to engineering, would like to just announce out loud, you know, are you going to stop growing if we turn the lights on? Do they have to be red?
Well,
I don't want to hurt you, so you need to tell me if that's a bad idea.
uh, roll a manipulation again.
I'm so good at that.
I mean, you got 6 dice. Yeah, 5 dice. And
Not good
geez.
at it.
Okay. All right. There's no answer, just the crackling of the speakers. Okay. So the corridors are different in engineering. The roof is lower. The walls are full of pipes and cables and panels full of writings in old dar. It's like a big machine. It's a labyrinthine maze of pipes and panels and grav generators. Um,
Do we
and
see any spacesuits?
so I guess that would be, so someone can give me a survival check, or
Mm,
anyone who's looking can give me survival checks.
Dr. Wana has a 0. Roya has a 0.
It's a general skill though. It's on the left side, so anyone can roll. You'd
Oh,
be
okay.
just rolling your wits. Right.
That
Nice.
was Dr. Wana and Roya. Roya did not get it, but
Okay.
Dr. Wana did.
Yeah, but you're able to find.
Found one?
Yeah, actually, and you can make a science check, I guess, too.
Science?
Yeah.
She made it?
Okay. Yeah, so you feel like because you kind of ask a question to the creature or to Wahina, I guess, and you saw these creatures kind of grow. So your conclusion is that the red light actually is helpful to the growth. It seems to expand and grow in the red light. So and actually when you get to the engineering, you see another creature kind of following you, and this one's a lot bigger too. Um, okay, so when you get to yeah, so,
Well, Dr. Wana would want to go over the radio to Zebo and Roya and say, you know, when the ship turns to the red light, they seem to be growing. Do you think turning on the power is a bad idea? I don't want to hurt them.
um,
Uh, I don't know, Doctor. I don't feel well placed to answer this question.
Well, I did find a
This.
suit.
Oh, you have a suit.
Yes, we found a suit.
Oh, we need to get it to
The Siab.
yeah, to our survivor.
Well,
Where are you? Where are you currently?
well, you guys are
uh,
all together in engineering, I thought.
Oh, she come over the radio. That was why I was saying it.
Oh,
I didn't realize that we were all together down there.
well, did you want to go to engineering, or are you back here with the
I,
Sayab and
I
Samad?
imagined we were making our way like from separate routes.
Yeah. Well, I figure you would have. I mean, it's not
We've
that
met up
far.
now.
It's yeah, you met up and you're making
Ah,
your way
okay.
to engineering. So in the engineering section, as I described,
Oh,
right?
we arrived there together, kind of.
Yeah, you're right
Right,
there
got you.
together. I mean, you could probably still. I mean, looking around at different areas and compartments in engineering section, it is a labyrinth after all. So you
Mhm.
probably are over the radio, but
And I suppose we've still got our helmets on, so you always feel like you're a little bit over the radio anyway,
right,
don't
right,
you?
yeah, it's true.
Mhm.
Um,
I,
yeah.
I,
Um, did you? Should we look around and then take the suit, or should one of us peel off and take the suit up to the airlock and make the crossing? It's up to you, Captain. I'm happy to do that if you wish. Or the other thing, and he just like instinctively lowers his voice. The other thing, I was wondering, perhaps we could ask the plant, as if like the plant can't hear. Ask the plant if there's been any activity down here, if anybody's been doing anything strange down here, because I'm just thinking about this destroying the station, whether the Legionnaire has been down here and placing explosives. Perhaps the plant would be able to point us in the right direction.
Yeah, well, you can, Zebo, you can, yeah. So if you ask the plant, Dr. Wana, we'll do a manipulation
yeah.
roll, and then Zebo, you can Zebo and Roya can make observation checks, and
Yeah.
Zebo could actually use technology if he can't see anything obvious.
Okay.
She made her manipulation. She would ask Roya to run the suit back up because she can go pretty quickly, take the suit up and come back while they're talking to the plant.
Okay, so Roya is gonna move back up. Give me a dexterity check for Roya. And actually the big plant that's been hanging out in engineering, it points Zebo. You see the big plant. Because I mean, since you guys aren't hostile,
Mhm.
she's got no problem.
Mhm.
Since you guys aren't hostile, the plants, one's big and one's a little smaller, but it still has grown a little bit since you first observed it over here in the living quarters.
Mhm.
The plant points in a certain direction, like it understands you,
Mhm.
Dr. Wana, which
Okay.
is
Mhm.
bizarre. So Zebo, you can get a +2 to your observation or technology to look in that area.
Okay. So I'll do the technology.
Dr. Wana would tell you if you find it,
Roya
dismantle.
has no Roya has no trouble. It's almost like the growth parts as she moves through, because you're on friendly terms, I guess, with Wahina.
Yeah, she'll
Oh yeah.
definitely say thank you so
All right.
much.
So you do find the area where you think is a reactor core. There's control panels that control power, gravity generators, and lighting actually. So you probably don't want to turn on the lighting because that would interfere with the red light that's spilling
Mm-hmm.
in. But power and gravity generators could really help if you wanted to get those operational. You
Yep,
also
I think
find some booby traps though.
yeah,
They're
we need
Ah,
very
to
crude,
dismantle those first because we don't want to blow it.
and I've spent some darkness points to add some booby traps. So then so yeah, so you can attempt to disable those. That would also be a tech roll or data degen if you want to see, because they might be remote operated. Um, but
uh,
data degen to get into the computer system of this, because like it's got a low level of power, which is enough to like keep like the computer screen, the little cursor is blinking type of thing, right?
yeah, yeah.
See,
Can I
she
do it
doesn't have
without?
so.
Can I do it without data? Can I go straight to tech?
You can
Or
go if you're gonna like mechanically try to disable these booby traps, you can use tech.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Cut the blue wire and not the green wire type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So you're gonna
Roya
work on
doesn't
that?
have either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You got any tools or things that could give you a bonus?
Um, uh, I reckon he glances around and
Remember, you guys have these talents too. I don't know if these talents might help with things.
Well, I have truth seeker, wealthy family, and the dancer's talent.
Yeah.
And Roya has
Well,
truth
Zebo.
seekers, combat veteran, and the judge's talent. I don't know if any of those would apply.
No.
I don't see. I've got tools. I've got tools.
Okay, that'll give you a bonus.
Yeah.
I thought that Zebo had a. What is?
He's got tools. He's got an environment sensor, tools, exoshell, hyper rope, and Arash dash.
What's the gambler's talent?
That allows you to make. Is that the one where you auto? Is that the auto success one, or
I don't know.
we've got a group one that's truth seekers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Truth seekers. Truth seekers. You can find important information or give a clue.
Right.
I get one darkness point, and the whole. You can only use that once per session for the whole group. The dancers. Dancers, you can evade an incoming attack.
How about the judge's talent?
Judges, you automatically deal a critical injury when you hit.
How about combat veteran?
Combat veteran. When you make your initiative, you roll 2 dice and take the best one. So the general talents you can use all the time. Like I think you have exo specialist.
Yeah.
You get a +2 to dex or force when handling an exosuit. So even moving through here, you get a +2 Zebo on your force.
Oh, okay.
You're trying to push through. So in a way, that's probably why I didn't even bother to. As you're like such an expert with an exosuit that you don't even have to use a carabiner. You can just hand over hand on the tether. If you all right. Okay. Anyway,
the gambler's talent. Yeah.
You're incredibly lucky and can choose an automatic critical success on a skill of your choice. It counts as you had rolled three sixes. If this is an advanced skill, you still need a level of at least 1 to activate the talent. So you need to make a success, but you can make it a critical.
This seems like probably a good time to do that.
Okay.
We're talking booby traps on the core of the space station. That seems fairly clutch.
Yeah, so I would say like the booby traps. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So you got tools. That's
there's there's booby traps to access the thing, but the booby traps are not the actual thing. So what we're going to probably have to. Nah, I'll hold off. I'm just going to use my technology with my tools.
Okay.
Okay, so sort that out.
Science or culture wouldn't help me, right?
All right, so you remove the booby traps.
Yay!
Yeah, no issue there.
He just takes he just lights up his Arash. He takes a couple of drags of the old Arash, slips out the wire snippers.
You take your helmet out.
Awesome. Oh no, he's got the helmet.
Or maybe you have just have like a spray, a vapor.
A vapor, right? A little squirt. And he just slides out his snippers from his back pocket and just like coolly cuts the green wire and just snips them back as though it was just trimming a little bit of excess.
Yeah. Truth be told, it wasn't like, it would have. These booby traps are set up in a way that anyone would instigate them, would blow themselves up to. There's no sophistication, no countdown. There is an attempt to like make it remote detonated, but it wouldn't work unless you were like in the next compartment, which would probably still kill you. So
Zebo doesn't dwell on that. He's just placed his trust in the icons to deliver him from this situation.
Yeah, so the reactor is still working though. So that if you wanted to power stuff up, you could.
Well, we need to remove the explosives, don't we?
He did.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay. Cool.
That was it. The tech world. You're good.
Good.
But I'm just telling you, it'd be like crude and all that kind of stuff. And it would have been like if you had put satchel charges here to blow this thing up, you guys would have blown yourselves up.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
too,
It is
there's
like,
no there's no delay, I guess.
yeah, the correct. You hear Zebo muttering as he kind of like casts away crazy legionnaire. Ah, he's just mumbling.
Yeah.
Ah,
Okay. I mean, you
I
could
knew
blow
I knew she was not to be trusted.
now. You could, if you wanted to, you could start the meltdown on the reactor core if you wanted to, but um,
What do you mean start the meltdown? We don't want to ruin the ship.
yeah,
I
Yeah.
mean, all we want to do is maybe get like some computers up so that they can better communicate with whoever comes on.
yeah. If you wanted to get stuff running, so you don't have to roll again, Zebo, but Dr. Wana, oh, you don't have data gen, Dr. Wana?
No, no.
Do you have data gen, Zebo?
I don't
is-
think I
which is
It's
might.
computer.
Nima. It's Nima that does.
Yeah,
I know
Nima
Nima does and Samio does.
I don't think I do. No.
Well, Samuel hopefully could do it because he's
Oh,
just
I do have one dice.
Oh, yeah, you can attempt to get things going.
Yeah. Okay then.
Although, like Dr. Wana said, don't turn the lighting on because that would ruin the nice ambient red light that you're getting.
Yeah, I'll bring up the anti-grav and whatnot.
Mhm.
Hold on, why am I doing that? Hold on.
So data gen.
Data G.
Mm,
0 or less. What?
What?
Oh, that's not right.
That's not right. But you got a success anyway. Oh,
Oh.
because did you still have a minus in there?
Ah.
Did you
No,
put a
because
plus in there?
It's wits, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's wits. I should
And you
have
have one.
four dice. No, 6 dice.
Yeah.
It's wits.
yeah, just
So why didn't
all
get
it did was
2d6 less
roll.
than 6? So it only rolled 2 dice. That's weird. Okay. Well, I
That's
mean,
weird.
that's a success anyway because you rolled 2 dice and got a 6, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. I don't know why it says failure.
No, that's weird. Okay.
But your dice, I mean, maybe there's a minus. Did you put a minus or a plus accidentally?
Not to my knowledge, but
Anyway,
weird.
you rolled.
Yep.
It rolled. You should have rolled 2 more d6. Well, you should roll 2 more d6 to see if you get a critical.
All right,
If
I'll
it's
just
4,
roll in.
so
I'll freestyle them.
your wits is 3. Oh,
Yeah, that is another one.
yeah. So your wits is 3 and your data degen is 1. Is that right?
No, my wits is 5.
Oh,
I
you
should
should
have
have rolled
been
6 dice. Okay, so
Yeah.
you need 2 more dice. Okay, so no crit, but you get the power up. The grav generators are on. So like, oh, good, you don't have to sort of
We can
hop
switch
your
off
way.
the magnetic boots now.
Yeah, you can switch off the magnetic boots, and not pseudo float your way through as the gravity generators come up. Yeah, those
Those magnetic boots play havoc with my quads. Yes.
That probably hurts if you end up stepping on
And
a
you
pin.
could put power to med lab if you wanted to.
Yeah, that
Med
would
lab and
probably
the other labs. So
the
Yeah.
research lab. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
maybe to the biodome. We haven't gone to the biodome
We
yet.
still need to get to the biodome because we've got the signs of life on the scanner there. So
yeah. All right. So give me
well, that's all up and running now, Captain. We've got power to all the systems except the lights, as requested. Not a bad
Appreciate.
day's work there.
Well, she wants to ask the plants, is there anything else you need?
well, I think I'll say the speaker crackles to life, and Wahina says, "Why are you helping? Do you believe in the project, the seeds of the icons?
Well, I
I
mean, we
feel
believe
power
in
coming
you.
to the ship."
Yes, we turn that back on, but I'm hesitant to turn the lights on, seeing as the red light seems to help you grow and flourish.
Yes, the growth. She says she calls it the growth, and you feel like that's a capital letter, like
Mhm.
she's addressing some. Anyway, she calls it. She says the growth responds to the red light of Daraban's the red light of Daraban, the sun.
Well, is there any more explosives on this ship that we should take care of? Anything else you need us to do?
I do not know that angry person who killed my companions. Well, they are not no long. I no longer feel that they are here.
No, we
And the
removed
scared
them.
one, and you have the scared one too.
Yes, yes. We'll be taking him with us.
She goes, "You will help me."
Of course. Is there a way that I can put a comm on here so that if you need us, you can always contact us?
Give me. So, I mean, now that everything has come to life, Dr. Wana from engineering, it's probably like a redundant system from like the control, wherever the control center would be.
Mhm.
So give me a science roll as you look
Science?
at, as Zebo's like scrolling you through like various ship systems. All right, so this ship, I mean, it's badly damaged, and it's gonna, it's not gonna, like, it's around a gas giant. It's badly damaged, and it's probably, the orbit is decaying. And since it's been so badly damaged, it's gonna slowly like go into the atmosphere. So the station's probably in the long run, the station is untenable. However, it looks like this growth can survive in vacuum, and it just needs to be transported somewhere, right? So, yeah,
Can
that's
we
what.
tow it? Tow it with our ship?
No, but there is another ship, or you can. Well,
Well, look,
Wahina says, perhaps we should talk,
Yes, we should.
because you are far from me, but I am where the sun is the greatest.
You're in the biodome.
the biodome.
Yes, I believe that what I used to call it.
Then I shall venture that way. And she'll instruct Roya to help Simo and Saib off the ship.
Okay. All right, so Zebo and Dr. Wana with your escort are going to travel up to the biodome.
Because
Yeah.
she's not fearful. I mean,
Yeah, well, you haven't.
Zebo's on board with this idea as well. I think Zebo's all for the he's seeing Dr. Warner kind of chatting with the plant, and he's all into this plants in the desert plan. He's on board with this project.
All right, so the only thing I
Kind
need,
of reminds him of home. I
mhm.
reckon he comes from a lush vegetated place, and he would like his fond memories of home, and he would like to see that on a desert planet that's tough and rough. And
yeah, yeah.
yeah, let's see the plant on the
So
planet.
let's do something very quickly. As you guys get to the biodome, there's another one of these creatures, and you see that it has also, like, you see they're like injured, right? And then when the red light hits them, you see them come to their full potential.
Well, Dr. Wana wants to ask if we can gather the material of the plant that was shot and put it in the red light, will it regrow?
She goes, what plant that was shot?
Well, my understanding is that the one that we removed, that we took the weapons from, injured one of your plant people.
Oh, she goes, I have, she doesn't, she's trying, see, there's a pause, and then as you're moving, you guys are making your way, like
Just
up
talking and
up to here,
chatting
and
with
then
her on the way.
occasionally, like it's kind of weird, right? Because like a speaker will talk, and you keep moving, and they can still hear the speaker talking, somewhere, so it's interesting way that you're communicating with Wahina. But and then another, like I said, another one of these things joins you kind of near the biodome. So you have an escort of 3 now, and she says, "Oh, it is." She goes, "Uh, my my companion has been recycled. It is fine.
Oh,
it is the way of things.
good. Well,
Recycled takes a, she does a pause, and then recycled is the word that is used. But okay, so let's do something here. So Roya, this professor Siop, he is really like a very nervous Nelly. So I'm gonna have to, even though you suit him up, no problem. I'm gonna have, you could have him make his own check, but it might be better if Roya helps this dude. Well, his agility is only 2, but your dexterity is probably pretty good, Roya.
Um, I
We
don't
should have got him
even,
some of that Arash spray.
I
Maybe,
don't
yeah.
know where my dexterity is.
It's in
Oh,
the
my
first.
dexterity is only +1.
So you have a total. What's your agility though?
My agility is +5.
So you have a 6 dice to roll. Do you want to help Siab across the way? He's like, we gotta go that way. Whoa, no, no, no. I should have stayed. I should have stayed at the university. I
Yeah, she'll help him. I mean, she has force too if she needs to use that.
Would you rather use force to push him across?
No, I
Okay.
would rather help him, but I mean, if push comes to shove, just knock him unconscious and carry him over.
Okay. Well, just roll a dex to help him get over.
Okay.
Roll your dex. No problem. So he is over and he is secure aboard the ship. Samio is going to stay because if you do
She's
not, Dr. Wana, if you do not need me any longer, I think I will stay on board the
you should.
Nautilus. Okay.
So Roya will get him into one of the rooms and give him some food and water that has, happy crystals in it.
Okay.
Lock him in there, and then she'll stay on the ship and kind of guard a little bit, but she wants to ask Zebo first. Do you need me, sir? I feel as
Oh,
though this might be a little too much for Zima on his own.
yeah, yeah. No, no, you carry on for sure. I'll go with the doctor and we'll check out the biodome and truth be told, I'd be happier if you was over there keeping an eye on things, you know.
Absolutely, sir. Understood.
All right. All right. So you get to the biodome. Well, that's perfect. See, the mains are in the heat of the conclusion, in the thick of the conclusion. The NPCs are doing what they do. They fade to the
NPC.
background. Fade to the
Fade
background.
into the background. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you make it there, and you see Wahina. That's her there. I think I'll show you. I think I have a handout. I do have a
Is
handout.
she still a human?
Oh, sorry. I should have showed you MedLab. MedLab. Nice little blueprint. You found that in that area 06, that's where you found the professor hiding. The med lab is operational if you need it. It's got some really nice tech, but probably unfortunately impossible to transport. And then Wahina. Oops. She's something. It's hard to tell.
Oh, all right.
That like plant is integrated into her features.
Well, Dr. Wana would say that is quite a wrap. Do you need anything from me before, I tell you the information we found on the computer, or do you know the information on the computer already?
Because I know. Because
And-
you have not been hostile. I am surprised. Perhaps humanity has evolved
Well,
in the time since I have lost touch and floated towards the station's doom.
I
Because
think you will
we must save the project. You will help me save the project.
absolutely. I'm assuming that,
It's more of a demand than a question, but
well, Dr. Wana would say, is there a way for you to receive communications here now that we've powered the ship back up? If so, I can ask my pilot Nima to put a link between the two systems before you go off into the vast area. Hopefully we can still communicate.
because that is not necessary. I just need the other ship, if not your ship.
Where is the other ship? I thought you already had the other ship.
Yes, but it has been sabotaged, disabled.
You need it turned on?
Yes. And then I will leave with my people and the seeds.
Well, we're not tethered to that other ship.
Yeah, so actually it definitely it's you could feel like you're just to describe the biodome, it's definitely very hot in here, and it's a good thing you are in your suits, because it probably would be very too heavy to breathe. The growth is everywhere, covering the floors, the walls, even the glass dome. And of course, you could see it in the red light. It's all growing. It's like growing as you watch it, right? To reach the light. Um, so so the dark purple weed of the growth is everywhere. And the top layer is covered by small dark flowers, all reaching towards the light. Now in a
And we're getting all this on the cameras on our suit?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So she says, if you would help me, then well, perhaps Dabaron will see flowers in the desert.
Absolutely. How can we get to that ship? I mean, do you have a branch that you can pull the ship over that we can, I would hate to say walk on you, but get over to that ship?
If you agree to help, I will open a way.
Absolutely. She'll look at Zebo and see if he's in agreement.
Oh, for sure, Captain. Go. Yeah. I'm fully on board with this plan. Just let me know what you want me to do.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
ready to go.
can you get that ship powered up, or do I
Yeah,
need
I've got my tools. I've got my tools here.
Yep.
You get me on board, and I'll get that. I'm pretty sure as long as there's no damage, I'll get that operational. No problem at all.
All right.
All
So
right.
as you leave the biodome and head back in that direction,
Mhm.
and that corridor, which was choked with growth, and it seems to, like, as you go through it, starts to part. As you leave the biodome, you see her three companions are grabbing like cylinders, and Wahina is also she has like a data pad and takes a small container as well, and they're following at a distance, but they're following you to the Shazram. When you get to the Shazram, it's still attached to the ship.
Oh, that makes it even easier.
Yeah, and you guys go in, and I mean, you go right away. I mean, you know this type of ship. It's a different class than your ship, but it doesn't matter what class it is. But Zebo, you know this type of ship, so you can make your way to either bridge or engineering.
Is there anything salvageable there of those that were on the ship that we can take with us? Maybe to put them a little bit more at ease?
Um,
Because
didn't
is this Amia's ship
Yeah,
and
Amira's ship, and yeah, Siab and Amira's ship.
yeah, so maybe grab their
It probably belongs or is sponsored by the University of Dabron or
yeah.
Dabaron.
So Dr. Wana will ask the plant life, can I remove these from here and it won't hinder you, just to put them at ease and show that you are acting in good and in kind.
Oh, it's like a courier ship. So, what cool stuff does it have for you? It's a very beautifully decorated hull. I mean, it has probably University of Dabaron all over it, icons and stuff like that. Are there ship sheets for this?
Well, Dr. Wana will ask if she can download the information to her pad so that she can take the research back and show all the good that she's done.
Wahina doesn't answer, so but I guess that doesn't mean no. Uh,
Well, she's not removing it, she's just taking a copy.
yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I mean, they have a med lab like you do. The ship here.
I'm
the Shaw's
assuming
room.
that Zebo is making sure that there's no like drugs on board that he could take with
Yeah, I
replace
mean,
something.
if you want to take
He's,
the time and scavenge around, you can do that. But I don't know if you want to go.
I mean, his priority is going to be to get down to engineering
Yeah,
and just see that everything is as he imagined, because it's not. There's been no report of any damage to this ship, or it's just docked. So he's imagining it should be fully operational and just powered down.
yeah, it really is just. I don't think that since Amira has blocked to the ship, it's not like booby trapped or there's nothing there. So it's just a
Yeah.
question of getting into the system. So either technology or data gen to get into the system and power it up, because it's not, it has its own set of codes and all that kind of stuff. So you can do that from the bridge or in the engineering.
I think he's a little bit more at home in the engineering. That's where he spends most of his time. So
Mm-hmm.
probably that's where he'll do it that way as well. If there's anything going wrong, he can get an immediate sense of it, perhaps.
Yeah.
And he'll keep his eye out on the way down there for anything salvageable, or perhaps any personal effects that
Yeah.
people might want returned to them.
Well, Dr. Wana will go with you. She doesn't know this ship very well, and if there's anyone else on board, so she doesn't want to leave you alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and likewise, we're probably better to stick together as well. So
Well, they don't go into the ship yet. They want you to. But truth be told, let's see. The ship's a little bit better maneuverable, but the armor's not as good. It's a little faster. Yeah.
Which will be good for them.
The armor is about the same. Your ship, it's about the Courier is a bit more maneuverable, but it just has an accelerator cannon on it. Yeah.
Is there
Med lab.
another suit on there that would have belonged to the Legionnaire that
Yeah, there could be a backup suit there.
Yeah, she'll take that with.
Yeah. Okay.
And she'll let the plant group know I'm gonna remove this from there. You don't need any more bad memories than you already have of that situation.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a full set of exosuits in there. I mean, if you wanted to take them, but you
Yeah.
don't need to. You can you find the one that's armored, and that's probably the one that belongs to Amira.
Well, is there
Okay.
one that's better for Nima and the rest of them, or not really?
You could so let's say if there was a crew of 5 also.
I mean, we might as well take them with. I mean, the plant people can't use them.
They don't need them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, based on your observations, they could these things could probably survive in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Right. The flowers are floating around in the vacuum. All right. So it just need that tech roll there.
Yep.
I'd help you, but I'm real bad at it.
Yeah. When do I invoke my gambler thing?
If you succeed, then you can get a critical.
Okay, so yeah, you don't have to declare it.
I know.
Okay. There we go.
Nice. Yeah, so if you want to use your gambler's talent, then it becomes a critical and it powers up. It purrs like a.
Yeah, he's just showboating at this point. I think he wants to create a little bit of an impression with the plant folk, and maybe secretly to the captain. He wants to appear as the top engineering guy.
Dr. Wana is beyond impressed.
Yeah. All right. Well, as soon as the thing hums to life, the creatures come on in. You would see them in engineering. They one of them dumps a container out, and the growth just starts spreading over, which is maybe a bit disconcerting, but maybe they're used to it.
We're getting used to it.
Wahina Wahina
Dr.
gives you
Wana
a
wants
nod.
to see if she can give, how do you pronounce her name?
Wahina.
Wahina a hug before she goes.
Wahina does not seem to understand what you're trying to do, but lets you. She might think that's hostile though, but okay.
This is how my people say, you know, be well and be safe, and we're with you.
Because I think my people did that too. And
But
she lets you do it, but doesn't respond, and then moves to the bridge with her stuff. You see another one of these creatures. One stays on board the ship, on board the sinking vessel. Another one, and the other two go with Wahina, carrying who knows where they're carrying the other container. Zebo, you don't know. But Wahina goes to the bridge, and then Wahina says, "You can leave now."
well, we appreciate it. Safe travels to you. Here's our comm link. If you need us, be sure to contact us, as I would like to assume that we are friends.
Perhaps.
No job's too small.
Never.
Yeah, so you probably get all those exosuits on a grab sled. So you probably have like one armored exosuit and 4 other nice exosuits. The only problem is they do have the University of Dabaran on a patch. University of Dabaran, property of University of Dabaran.
I'm sure we can paint over that or something.
The armored one doesn't though.
No.
That seems to be like maybe personal property of Mira, or security.
And we would have grabbed any personal property of the doctor and stuff. So
yeah, you can go to his cabin and grab his data pad and other things for Siab.
Because Wahina didn't seem to care. She's
No,
not going to use any of that.
Not at all. Not at all.
And well, I'm assuming get back over and, Dr. Wana will get on and Zebo, and can we remotely untether the ship?
Yeah, Zebo can do it.
Yeah, we just set it free from our side and lose the tether, leave the end attached to the other ship, and just jettison the tether at this side, and I'll reload a new one from the stores and just get that all. Yeah, that's no problem at all, Captain. We'll get that sorted. We'll be away in 2 minutes. We'll be ready to rock and roll out of here.
All right. So you're gonna attach the grab sled to the tether, get it across.
Yeah.
Dr. Wana moves across. You get all that stuff on board. It probably needs to be sanitized and cleaned because it's probably all full of purple powder. All your seats are probably all covered in the stuff.
Well, I'm assuming that we have like a way to clean them on our ship.
Yeah, decontamination protocol.
Right.
Yeah.
You could do that, or keep. Dr. Wana has some samples too. So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's have Zebo. So you're gonna untether the link there at the end.
Yeah, jettison it from our side, leave the tether attached to the space station end, and just.
Yep. So I'm gonna, just to cause a little bit of tension, I'm gonna use my last 2 darkness points as you see the Shazram kind of take off. The station kind of shudders, and I'm gonna have Nima make attempt a piloting roll to get clear of the.
Well, Dr. Wana would pipe up and say he doesn't have to attempt because he is the pilot.
He is the pilot. Let's see right now. Nima. So is there any warning of this piloting role being required? Like could Zebo redirect some power to the thrusters from engineering whilst he's down there, or anything like that, to kind of give him an extra bit of horsepower to,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah.
I probably like nice.
I don't even see that. That's
All
the
right.
worst thing. I get this delayed reaction on seeing
Yeah,
what I've rolled
you
as I
got your
move all
tech
the
roll.
windows around.
Oh yeah, you got 2 successes. So with Z
All
with
right, wow.
what was Zebo's roll, like he does a barrel roll out of there, which is a critical. Yeah, I guess what happened, the Shazram took off, and you see like because they don't care, and it probably broke the airlock. There's probably some venting, and even with that amount of momentum, the station spins awkwardly. But Nima, you're able to get clear.
Yeah.
And I'd like to point out that if the Legionnaire is awake and on the bridge,
Oh, she probably is not. I mean, she's
okay, I was
still.
gonna say, because
I
if
think
she
they're
comes,
still in there. I mean,
they're locked in their cabins.
yeah. I want to see. Let's see how long. Um, oh, she's gonna be out for a while.
Yeah, probably we haven't taken that long, have we?
No,
Yeah.
she's gonna be out for a while. I mean, you got 1 success, so she's out for that long. So you might be able to say, "Oh, it's just a dream, honey."
Exactly. I mean, that's what Zebo's thinking. He'll just go in there with his stash of Arash again when she wakes up and just see if she's simmered down enough to just sit and
Yeah. All right. Well,
BS.
I'm gonna fast forward like a denouement here, and then you guys can have a little epilogue. But so you get back to Dabaran, probably. Well, you don't know if you're ahead of the Shazram or not. Um, you don't get any communication. You don't hear anything from the Shazram, but you are able to collect. Give your report to the University of Dabaram and the Foundation. You collect your 10,000 uh, plus 20 plus another 10,000 for rescuing Siab and Amira. What is your? I guess I have to ask, what is the story that you guys give to the university and the foundation? Like, what happened?
Well, as you're aware, we set the explosives. The ship went up. It took out the other ship with them. We were able to rescue these 2 survivors and download some of the research, so that's not lost. Collected some samples, and it situation normal out there now.
All right. Amira is pretty pissed, but if I say Zebo after some time calms her down, tell her it was just, what's the story you give to Siab and Amira?
Oh, we just took care of things as you. The thing is, she knows that if we'd have done that, we'd have blown up.
Oh, you could say you fixed it though, right? Because
Yeah.
you could tell her it was a yeah, you could tell her
Yeah,
that
yeah. I'll just say,
you're an
look,
amateur.
Amira, there was not that friendly of you to lead us into a booby trap. However, I don't hold it against you. Desperate times call for desperate measures, but we took care of things. I'm still here. We're all still here. The booby trap didn't work, but we've taken care of the matter. So
Well, you know how to
no
overload, and you
hard
can
feelings.
explain. You know how you would have known with your going through their engineering core, you could have known how to overload it, so you could easily explain how you could
Yeah,
with all the technical details that you need
yeah, yeah. We just did
until her
this,
eyes
did
gla- until her eyes glaze over.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And once that happens, I um I assume that she's fell for the tail, and just say, no hard feelings. I'm sure it's a very traumatic experience for you, but now it's all done with. Perhaps you just have a. Why don't you have a smoke? Join me with a smoke of this Arash, and we can be friends and put it all behind us. I'll overlook you trying to kill me with those booby traps.
That's so good of you.
She gives you a nod and takes a hit of your Arash. The judge always watches, she says. That's one of the icons.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Um, Oh yeah, and you recovered your suit from the
No,
Shaw's.
Roya would not have given it to her.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because if she woke up mad, Roya would be like, "Nah, this suit's
I mean,
mine."
they don't have to know what happened to their ship.
No, they don't. I
No,
mean,
they don't.
You
You
can
know, I'm not
scrub.
telling them.
Yeah, Samio is, he can he can deftly remove all the iconography of the University of Dabron and scrub the any like sort of virtual tags that it might have. He's a Digin he's a Digin data nerd, and he's also a tailor and a designer, So
Hmm.
so he reworks all that stuff. So you got some a little bit of salvage, which is nice.
mhm.
And Zeb would just turn to Dr. Warner and be like, Captain,
Yes, sir.
we did the right thing, didn't we? We did do the right thing.
I think so. I think it's always better to leave a living being alive. Because you never know. We might need their help someday.
Right.
Just as long as they don't take over the whole of the third horizon with this parasitic growth. I
But
guess that's true.
look on the bright side. If they do, we'll get a call.
Well, speaking of that, after some time on the old station, I guess if we continue with the mini campaign of some such with these player characters, uh, this will be in the canon of our campaign. But sometime in the old station, you hear strange events in the old emirate on Dabaran, and the ruins of the old emirate, because that's been gone for some time in the third horizon. But their fields of dark purple plants have fertilized the soil around the old palaces of its capital. Some say it's a miracle, but others claim it is an ill omen from the dark between the stars. And we will stop there.
Yeah.
Hence, we have finished Dark Flowers, our Coriolis quick start. So thank you guys for playing. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Colin. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's typical with Colin and Amy because they're, I would say, atypical players. They are not the guns a-blazing type. We have had probably an outcome that is not the typical outcome in this scenario. I think it would have ended up like what happened to the Shazram, where someone got spooked, started some conflict, but you guys kept your wits about you, kept it together. Not a lot of, a lot of action, but not a lot of fighting, which I think is always kind of cool. Some tension because you never know. You never know what the icons are going to throw your way if you're disabling booby traps on the reactor core of a station.
Certainly gave you enough threat.
Right, and I think Dr. Wana was calm throughout, even though spooked here and there by jumping plant creatures, but it all worked out, I think. And the dice rolled your way.
They did.
Amira kept her wits about her enough after being shocked almost, I guess a writer is a fanatic, but I think even a fanatic, when faced with the coldness of death, can
sober up.
Yeah, have some rationality about her. And so I made the rolls. A 3d6 is not easy to make a 6 on, but hey, that happened twice, so it's all good. And you knocked her out. You got her out of the picture.
Well, when in doubt, drug them.
Sometimes the icons are with you, as it is said. All right. Well,
yeah,
thank you guys for playing.
That was a good move. Yeah.
Any last impressions before we get out of here?
No, I really like the system. Although I don't think I had enough skill.
No, Dr. Wana had Dr. Wana has a science skill and some other things too, so, and then she has good manipulation, right? So I thought it was good. What about you, Colin?
We perhaps could have thought about using some more tools or trying to improve our chances on a couple of our roles, but that's
second time playing, you get into that as you go on.
Not used to doing that. Could have stacked the deck in our favor a little bit. But I think you see 6 dice or 7 dice, and you think, woohoo, you know, that's really good, but you do need as much help as you can get. And just like at the end there, I kind of remember that and thought, oh yeah, maybe I could get Zebo to assist Nima, and didn't really need it in the end. But I think if you're playing this game, you've got to be mindful of that, because you can really fail hard quite a lot when you need to roll 6s.
Right.
You can still call on the icons,
Yes.
and I'd say this is, from what I've seen, this is the most forgiving of the iterations of the Year Zero engine that I've seen so far, because it hasn't got that downward spiral where you're taking trauma and damage to your stats.
Right, like or stuff just happens, like in Walking Dead, something bad happens right away, right? When you if you get
I mean, and I haven't played enough of that really. You've played more of that for sure, Carl. So
but it's very similar to Alien, right? So like, you know, you start accumulating this stress, and then you roll those stress dice, you know, much like an Alien. And if you get the icon, the one, if you roll a 1, then bad stuff starts happening, and it can increase, much like an Alien, it can help increase your chances, but it's, you know, also you have that risk of something bad happening like an Alien, right? Like in the
I
Alien,
mean, it leaves me just wanting to play more, which, as far as I'm concerned, it is good. That's what I want in a game. You know, I'm leaving it saying, I would like to play more of this game. It makes me want to sort of almost put aside other games I'm playing, because I just want to play some more sort of Year Zero stuff, because I find it very approachable and kind of flexible. I feel like you can play your character, and you can you don't have to worry too much about fiddly rules. You can just sort of say what you want to do and get on with it. You only really need, you only roll in, well, like a lot of games, you only roll in when you need to roll. Like if you've got these skills, quite a lot can be assumed. Like he's an engineer, you don't need to roll to be able to use a spanner. It's just when you want to do some life-threatening booby trap removal.
Right. Like I think it helped me as a GM. Like I said, Zebo he's an exosuit expert. So, you know, it's going to be easy for him to, you know, across space. It's like
that's exactly that type of thing.
He knows not to look down, you know.
Or up, or left, or right.
Right. Yeah. Just focus on what's ahead, right?
Focus on the rope. Focus on the rope.
Yeah. So we don't need to roll that. Now, if he had been the first one out there to tether, sure. But he, you know, I think we did do that. So, you know, that's what I mean. It's like when it's dangerous, when something not routine is going on. I think that's when you do that. Or there's like a hidden bit of information that could be cool, or that you could put together, like in Dr. Wana's case with realizing the red light kind of attracted the flowers. So that was kind of cool too. So anything else, Amy?
No, I like the system, because it seems like when you fail, sometimes you can fail forward, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, so I thought it was cool. So the XP, the way it works, they have like 1, 2, 3, 5 questions. If you participate, you get an XP. If you overcome a difficult challenge, you get 1 XP. If you challenge yourself in something you're bad at, your character that is, you get an XP. If you sacrifice or risk something because of your personal problem, that would get an XP. If you sacrifice or risk something for your PC buddy, that would give you an XP. So you guys could think about those questions. If we play this again and revisit these characters, we can backtrack and do that for the 2 sessions that we had. So you have at least 2 XP because you were here. So thanks a lot, guys. Thank you for playing. And without anything else, I will say good night, or good afternoon, or good morning, and good rolling.
Good rolling.